Hi friends, today we are going to study the topic of conversion of galvanometer into ammeter and conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter. So the first we will go for the conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. So conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. So we all know that if I have a galvanometer, then with the help of galvanometer, I can measure the current also, and with the help of galvanometer, I can measure the voltmeter also. So because of this, we can save our money. And one more advantage of this galvanometer is the galvanometer device is a very high sensitivity nature. The sensitivity meaning is what? Sensitivity meaning is for a small value of input, we will get the output. So this is because the higher sensitivity of the galvanometer is because the resistance value of the galvanometer is very low as compared to ammeter resistance as well as the voltmeter resistance. So why we are doing this experimentation is because with the help of galvanometer only we can measure the current also and we can measure the voltmeter also. That is potential difference also. So to measure the potential difference, I can convert my galvanometer device into voltmeter, and to measure the current, I can convert my same galvanometer into ammeter also. And the first thing is we are converting this one into galvanometer into ammeter. See, usually in our day-to-day activities or in our physics laboratory, we do the experimentation with the help of galvanometer as well as ammeter. So in our physics lab, we have a ammeter which measures the current from 0 to 30 milliampere, and our galvanometer range is we can measure the current from 0 to 30 microampere. So these are the ranges of galvanometer as well as the ammeter in our experimentation. See, the galvanometer is measuring 0 to 30 microampere. This micro is nothing but very small quantity of current we can measure in the galvanometer, and in the ammeter we can measure 0 to 30 milliampere. So this is large as compared to galvanometer reading. So but our main focus is to convert this galvanometer into ammeter. So if I supply 10 milliampere to this galvanometer, if I supply 10 milliampere to this galvanometer, then what will happen is this galvanometer range is, I am supplying a 10 milliampere to galvanometer. The galvanometer range is, maximum range is 30 microampere. So 10 milliampere is greater than this 30 microampere. So because of this, what may happen is this galvanometer may get damaged. So we can't measure my ammeter reading into galvanometer. So the excess amount of current, or a large amount of current, we are supplying this galvanometer. So because of that, what may happen is it may damage. So without doing any damage to this galvanometer, we have to convert this ammeter into galvanometer. So how to convert this one? So to convert this one, so first thing is I need to convert this 10 milliampere into I can convert 10 milliampere into 10 microampere. See, if there is a 0 milliampere current, so I can convert 0 microampere, and if there is a 20 milliampere, then I can convert 20 microampere, and 30 milliampere to 30 microampere. So if the user supply 10 milliampere, this much of current has to transfer in the galvanometer, 10 microampere, and if the user is supplying a 10 milliampere, then the galvanometer has to get 20 microampere. The similarly 30 milliampere into 30 microampere. So to do this, one thing is sure that we have to reduce the current flowing to the galvanometer. So if there is a potential difference, I am applying V. So because of that, there is a galvanometer, so which is having a very low resistance value. If my supply current 10 milliampere, so the galvanometer may get damaged. So instead of 10 milliampere, I want to supply 10 microampere to this galvanometer so that it will not get any damage. And for 20 milliampere, only 20 microampere has to supply, and 30 milliampere, only 30 microampere has to supply to the galvanometer. Then only there will be no damage of the galvanometer and I can measure the current. So to reduce the current from 10 milliampere to 10 microampere, see here is a higher current and we need a lower current. So obvious, we all know that we can use the resistor in between them. So before transferring the galvanometer, I used to use a resistor. So whether this resistance I have to connect in a series to this galvanometer or this resistance I have connect to parallel. So this is a first question comes in my mind. So if I connect the resistance in a series, then what will happen is, if I connect a resistance in series, so this galvanometer is having, there is some internal resistance. So we all know that in the series connections, current flowing through the circuit is same. So my I becomes the same. So if I am supplying a 10 milliampere, so the same 10 milliampere is supplied to this galvanometer and galvanometer gets damaged. So we cannot connect the resistance in series from conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. See, I current is flowing in the galvanometer. So what I will do is, I will connect a resistance parallel to this galvanometer. So we all know that there is a branch here. So because of the branch, some of the current will flows here and some of the current flows here. So I have connected a resistance parallel to this galvanometer. The resistance which is connected parallel to the galvanometer is called as the shunt resistance. So because of that, I am indicating this resistance in the letter of S. So the resistor, this is a resistor which is connected parallel to this galvanometer. So my total current I becomes, see, whatever the current flowing through the galvanometer is, I can call it as a Ig value. So the current flowing through the galvanometer, I am representing the Ig value, and the branch is providing, and here how much current is passing. See, 10 milliampere I am supplying, so galvanometer has to show deflection of about 10 microampere, and rest of the current has to flow in the shunt resistance so that galvanometer get no damage. So the rest of the current means I am supplying the 10 milliampere is my main current, and galvanometer has to get only 10 microampere. The rest of the current has to flow this shunt resistance. So because of that, 10 milliampere minus 10 microampere. This much of current has to pass in the shunt resistance. So in terms of letter, I is my main current, that is a 10 milliampere, and 10 micro is Ig value, the current flowing in the galvanometer. So my equation becomes I minus Ig. So I minus Ig current, this much of current is flowing through the shunt resistance. So now the rest is all. We have to do the calculation. See, the galvanometer and the shunt resistance, so both are in parallel, so there is a potential difference. So for the parallel connections, we know that potential drop across the shunt resistance will be equal to potential drop across the galvanometer resistance for a parallel connection. So we all know these things. So what I can write is the potential drop between these 2 points, that is the S resistor, in between this S resistor, that I can representing by Vs, and the potential difference between this galvanometer. So both will be the same because they are all parallel connections. See, the starting end of the galvanometer is connected to potential difference. This starting end is connected to higher potential value, and this another end, both the galvanometer another end, they are connected to lower potential value. So these are all parallel connections. So in the parallel connections, we know that the potential drop across galvanometer resistance and the potential drop across shunt resistance will be equal. So the V, according to Ohm's law, Ohm's law suggests that current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to potential drop across the conductor. So V equal to I, with the help of this equation, what I can write is the current flowing through this shunt resistance. So how much current is flowing? So that is I minus Ig current is flowing, and the resistance value is S. So sorry, one more thing is we need to find out the shunt resistance. See how much resistance I have to connect parallel to this galvanometer. How much resistance I have to connect this galvanometer parallelly. Then only this much of current it may absorb. So to do this, we have to find out this value of shunt resistance. So if I have connected very low amount of a shunt resistor, then what may happen is then a large amount of current is passing through here. If I have connected larger value of a shunt resistance, if I have connected larger value of a shunt resistance, then what will happen? The large amount of current passes through this galvanometer, and if I have connected small value of a shunt resistance, then what will happen is large amount of current flows through this shunt resistance. So we need an exact value of the shunt resistance so that it has to transfer only Ig current. Only Ig current means if I supply 10 milliampere, it has to show deflection of 10 microampere, and if we are supplying 20 milliampere, then it has to show 20 microampere. So like that 30 milliampere also. So we are finding the S value here. So the potential drop across this galvanometer is My equation becomes Ig is the current flowing in the galvanometer, and the galvanometer resistance is G. So what I will get is I minus Ig. See, I want S value. So because of that, what we'll do is I will keep S here, and Ig by G divided by I minus Ig. So even I can do more simplification. Ig by G divided by I minus Ig by G, I minus Ig. I can write this equation. You can use both type of equation. See, we need to find out the shunt resistance. So we know the galvanometer resistance during our experimentation and how much current is flowing and the main current is flowing. So with the help of all these known values, I can measure the value of shunt resistance. So I think this equation is not necessary. So I will drop this. So the main equation is Ig by G divided by I minus Ig value. So whatever the output we are getting, so the SI unit of a resistance will become the ohms. So just quick recall of this. We are converting galvanometer into ammeter. So to measure 10 milliampere, we need to convert this into 10 microampere because the range of the galvanometer is very less as compared to ammeter. So because of that, I have taken a shunt resistance which is connected parallel to this galvanometer, so that this shunt resistance has to absorb a large amount of current passing from the main supply. So after connecting a parallel, we know that for parallel connection, potential drop across both the things will be the same, means potential drop across the shunt resistance and potential drop across the galvanometer resistance, both will be the same. So my equation will become V equal to IR. With the help of this, current flowing through the shunt resistance will become I minus Ig into S. that will be equal to current flowing in the galvanometer will becomes Ig into G. So S equal to Ig by G divided by I minus Ig. So this is the conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. So now what I have to do is we need to convert a galvanometer into voltmeter